And here we go again, Magic fans. Draft box number 4. We're burning through burning the midnight oil, the campfire. We're doing something with opening packs and being busy. So, yeah. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 peeps. Keeps the channel unsponsored. And it will be fantastic as we move on our magic journey together. So, what a glorious day. Just feels good opening this product. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. At least not at the moment. But, yeah, ooh, Kroxa. Very nice. Scooter boys. Looking pretty good there. It's a nice hit to start off with, mythic-wise. It's kind of weird. Kroxa used to be worth a lot of money, and he's really tapered off. And this reprinting of him is really drove the price down. I guess that's something we could talk about. We can talk about reprints and what that means for the Magic environment. So, as you can see, there's... other than the new cards that are coming out, all the older cards, not even a lot of the older cards, are being reprinted if they're even remotely valuable on the second market. And I think the reason for that, we've talked for a long time, and so has everybody else, about how Wizards of the Coast is going to claim money from the secondary market when they have nothing to do with it. And short answer to that, I really think... it's a foil. I really think the short answer to that is their reprint policy. As you can see, they have reprinted in this slot a lot of the best mythic and rares from the last couple sets and some older sets to put them back into circulation. And it's not because the price of the cards are too high. I mean, that's part of it. But when the cards are $40, $50 in secondary market, they don't get any pieces as they circle around. So if they reprint them, they don't care if they crash the market down half its price because they're going to infuse more cards in the market to convince people to buy their product. Unfortunately, that's going to be very bad moving forward for Magic as far as a collectible card game goes to a lot of different degrees. And we've kind of talked about that before. But it is the one way that Wizards can get money out of the secondary market by just simply reprinting cards. Instead of trying to figure out how to sell cards to you individually, which they have kind of a secret layer, but they do get a lot of kickback from that. They can just reprint cards and then come up with good reasons. And it's amazing how people are happier with reprints. That's a nice foil Rainbow Road. Most people are happy with reprints if they're in a set, but not if they're done separately, which I understand that, but all of the reprints is what's going to kill some of the value of the product, especially older product, right? So I don't think everybody quite understands that. And with that, we can talk about the reserve list as well. The best thing about the reserve list is those cards can't be reprinted, so those cards hold their value. And yes, they go up. Yes, they go down. There's an Ixalan. That's a... no, that's the cheap one. My bad. Even the reserve list goes up and goes down, but the cards hold a pretty high value. And the problem is nowadays we're not going to have that. So what's going to happen? Another mythic from 2 mythic pack. Hello. What we're going to have is a world where they just reprint cards constantly once they get anywhere above $20. And that drives people to buy the newer sets because they can get the older cards as a reprint, yada, yada, yada. Because as much as Wizard cares about the secondary market, because they do, there's not a lot they can do about it. As long as people keep buying the product, though, they can do anything to the secondary market they want as long as they get that, I guess you call it upfront pay because people are buying the current products because Wizards don't sell old products. And Secret Layers really died down because of, I think, bad management of it, in my personal opinion. But hey, there's half a dozen 160 other than that. So with that being said, one thing I do want to say, and this was a topic I was going to do a whole video on, but you know what? Ooh, like Corey, there's a good $12 card. I think this is a good place to talk about it as well. I think serialized cards are what's going to be the new reserve list that's going to hold value. And yes, they're part of cards that are already out there, but the fact that they're serialized, you know that they're rare, there can only be so many. It's a lot like the list. I mean, let's think about it. I mean, 500 of each card. That's if you look at the old printings. Urabrask, very nice. If you look at the old printings, you know, reserve list for like dual lands and whatever, there's 40, 50,000, something like that of each dual land or what have you. If the numbers are roughly the same for the serialized cards, yeah, you can have cards that'll be played, and so forth and so on. But the serialized cards, those will be the ones that start getting slabbed of the newer products to get that premium. Very nice. Another foiled rare. The newer cards that are serialized will be the ones that get slabbed, because we know they're rare. We know they're a limited supply run. And because of that, I really think that is what Wizards is attempting to do. They're attempting to make a pseudo reserve list by using serialized cards in every set, and then basically just reprinting everything else to oblivion, because they can, to help get more money. Because, you know, once you get into Magic and you start, it's nice Mythic, and you start playing, you eventually want those old cards, but they get harder to get, they get more expensive. So how do you recoup that loss? You reprint it into a newer set, and you keep repeating the process for all the new players who keep coming in, to get into their wallets, and so they can play, while at the same time having those specialized cards that are, like I mentioned, pseudo reserve list cards, that collectors can have, Vitalia, to actually slab up, trade, have high dollar value. I think that's the way they're going to go, and I think they really should even go a step further past serialized cards. And I think they've realized that already, when they get a chance. For example, you have Lord of the Ring doing the, you know, there's one serialized, one ring, right? It's a sweet idea. It's really cool. Ooh, Ragavan. Look at that. So this is only the second Ragavan I've got out of 6, 12, 18. This will be 24 boxes, including collectors and set and draft. Only the third Ragavan, if that tells you anything. Card might be a little underpriced. So, the hell was I saying? Oh, the One Ring. So, yeah, the One Ring where it's one card, one of one. That is amazing. Yes, it's a chase card. No, not everybody's going to have it. Not everybody's going to hit it, and that's okay. But if there's one card like that in every set, or 2 or 3 even, I think it would do a lot for the sets, to make them very popular. And at the same time, don't forget, you know, it's almost like it'll make different print runs worth more, because all those cards get printed the first time in the first batch. If they go back and do a reprint, they can't print more serialized cards because they've already printed them. So that's something to keep an eye out for. You know, if we start having big reprints when we have in these serialized card sets, we got to start realizing those other prints that come out won't have serialized cards in them. Not at all. Because they can't, because they should have already all been printed. All right? So that's a very interesting dynamic to the whole serialized card situation. Maybe that changes and they purposely don't do it, but it would make more sense to print all of them at once and only go back if they need to. And with everybody cutting print runs recently because of how bad the market is, it just makes sense that you don't plan to go back, much like Pokemon, right? So this will be very interesting to see how it all plays out in that kind of atmosphere of what we start expecting and what we start seeing, and what will it mean if we actually get a reprint of a set. Now, I don't think there's going to be a reprint of any serialized sets yet, just because they're not as popular as they should be, and they've actually cut back print runs because of that. So there's that. But at some point, there will be an uptick, and that's something we're definitely going to have to watch out for. All right, guys, our last pack here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Links in the description to the eBay store and Patreon. If you want to do more, if you haven't already subscribed, now's your chance. Just or Mathy. Nathy. Just nasty. Anyway, so until next time, guys, thanks for the talk. I appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. Hope to see you across some game table, a later player.